What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Tyson Fury claims that Joshua refused to fight Wilder twice because he was scared of being chinned. Wow. Tyson Fury is very confident in his ability to defeat domestic rival Anthony Joshua in a unification battle of heavyweight champions. In the last few weeks, the camps both have agreed to fight twice in 2021. As far as 2020 goes, Fury has to make a defense of his WBC title when he takes part in a trilogy fight with Deontay Wilder. And Joshua will make a mandatory defense when he stakes the WBA, the WBO, the IBF, and the IBO titles against Kubrat Pulev. Now, Fury believes he already beat the second best heavyweight in the world, which is Deontay Wilder. He says Joshua backed away from that fight with Wilder in two different opportunities in unification fights. Fury feels Joshua and his handlers were paranoid of suffering a knockout loss at the hands of Wilder. When Wilder and Joshua were unable to reach an agreement in 2018, Wilder turned around and finalized the deal to face Tyson Fury in December. And, Fury just thinks that Joshua would have got chinned by Deontay Wilder. That's why those fights didn't happen, okay? And it's one of those things where I think, first of all, Joshua getting chinned by Deontay Wilder wouldn't be an unbelievable thing. Okay? So, if we talk about the ability of what someone can do to another person, Deontay Wilder, if he hits you, he could do that. Or that was the understood, okay? If Wilder hits you with the right hand, you're going out. You're either going down or you're going out, okay? Does he have the ability? We don't know until they fight, okay? Could he do it? Could he pull it off? That's going to take him landing the right hand. However, did Anthony Joshua shy out of those opportunities twice? I think that those guys couldn't come to an agreement. We've been back and forth for the last 2 years on why those fights or that fight didn't happen between the two. And Tyson Fury saying that a rival that's already set to fight the guy that he's accusing is typical. Tyson Fury has beat Wilder. Wilder, in his mind, he's letting everyone know that he thinks Wilder would chin Joshua and he was scared to fight him. He backed out because he was scared to fight him. I already beat the second best heavyweight. So Anthony Joshua doesn't really mean as much as Deontay Wilder meant because he's the second, right? Joshua's past that. He's either third or fourth or however you rate Anthony Joshua as a heavyweight, okay? Now, I see what Fury is doing, He's in a position to say so because he's the only man to beat Deontay Wilder in a professional fight, and a strategy of verbal attack, okay? You hang that, especially with Joshua never fighting Wilder, you hang that over his head. Hey, I beat the guy that you refused to fight. I was able to get that fight done. Why wouldn't you guys? By default, you guys have to be lying. But without going into the politics of down memory lane, I think Tyson Fury is doing exactly what he should do. I don't think that he knew more about those negotiations than Deontay Wilder, even though those negotiations were talked about a lot during the quote-unquote supposed build-up between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder in the first fight. Because that's what really everyone talked about. was the failed attempts from Anthony Joshua, not necessarily the Tyson Fury versus Wilder fight. In fact, I thought it was disrespectful to Tyson Fury because everyone, when these guys were promoting their own fight, that's all they talked about was Anthony Joshua and why that fight didn't happen. That fight didn't happen because of politics, greed, and personalities between two different people that don't like each other. So it had fail written all over it. Okay? These people didn't like each other. A lot of stuff was deep rooted. Tyson Fury came in as a brand new option, a brand new light perspective, a new choice, some new blood. Like, sure, we'll fight Tyson Fury. Ain't he been sitting on his ass for 3 years? Yeah, I'll take that fight. I'm going to take his O. I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to close his mouth. That's what Deontay Wilder said. That's what he thought. It didn't go the way he thought it was going to go, but he did get 2 knockdowns in that first fight. Okay, so knowing what Wilder did to Fury, and then Fury can turn around and say, you know what? I've tasted the punching power of Deontay Wilder. So guess what? Now I know why Anthony Joshua didn't fight Wilder, because he would have been on the canvas like I got on the canvas, but he wouldn't have got up like I got up. So this article is actually to glorify himself, Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. So again, it's trash talk. It's very strategic, very impressive, but very typical from the Gypsy King. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's theory that Joshua refused to fight Deontay Wilder twice because he was afraid to get chinned. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.